Hi wine lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is going to be supermarket wines. I just posted an article on my blog about this and I will link it in the description box below, so have a look at it and tell me what you think about it. And today we're gonna also taste together some wines, some supermarket retail wines. First of all, we need to make a distinction between wines sold in a supermarket and private labels of the supermarket. So, generally speaking, wines sold in a supermarket last year had a momentum in the United States because I read here on this article that sales reached $10 billion of wines sold in a supermarket last year. So this tells us that people like to go to a supermarket and buy wines there, so at the grocery store. On the other hand, we're talking about private labels of the supermarket. So since people likes to buy wine in the supermarket, the big chains like Trader Joe, Whole Foods, Costco decided to invest in wines and to create their own private labels so they can sell any kind of wine at a lower price. Sometimes they put their name on the label, sometimes they don't. So it's really difficult to understand which wines are owned by the supermarket chain and which wines are private sellers or private winery selling their wines to the supermarket chain. And this is the first issue about supermarket wines to me. But before we go into that, I wanted to share some other data with you about this phenomenon. So last year in California, the 85% of wines sold was bought in a grocery store. So this tells us something. And in general, the 17% of the market share in the wine business in the US is private labels of supermarket chains. So we are talking about big numbers. Trader Joe was the first supermarket chain to start the private label thing with the Charles Schwab wines. I'm sure you're familiar with that because if you have ever been to Trader Joe, for sure you have seen their $2.99 wine, Chardonnay, Cabernet and Merlot with the label Charles Schwab. And they started this several years ago. They were the first, and then other big chains followed the example. For instance, Costco has its own Kirkland signature wines, or Whole Foods has the Three Whispers or Three Wishes, I think, label. So as I was mentioning before, sometimes you read the name of the supermarket or the brand of the supermarket on the label. Sometimes you don't. For instance, Costco write Kirkland signature on the labels, and Trader Joe choose to keep Charles Schwab as a brand, and Whole Foods as well choose not to write Whole Food on the label. So you don't really know if the wine you are buying is commissioned by the supermarket to a winery in order to have a certain price and to have an exclusive of the supermarket chain on the market, or if you're buying a wine from another winery, a private winery who was on the market and is not exclusive of the supermarket chain. Lidl, which is a German-based supermarket chain, is really investing in the wine selection, and he's hitting the market with a lot of new product launches, and they have a really broad selection of private label wines. Lidl just got in the US last year, opening 50 or 46, I think, retail shop in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and they hired a master of wine as director of wine, and is the first grocery store chain who hire a master of wine to select their own wines. His name is Adam Lapierre, and he's actually the only master of wine on the grocery industry. And the wines Adam Lapierre selected for Lidl won last year more than 250 medals in international wine competitions. Also at the San Francisco Chronicle wine competition, where I was a judge in January, Lidl wines won more than 46 medals with their wines. So they are really investing in this, and they are really investing in private labels, and they want to, let's say, change the perception of consumers that maybe they can think that cheaper wines are less quality. They are selling their awarded wines at the lowest prices, as much as the 50% less of their competitors. So they're trying to send a message that quality and money can, let's say, quality and paying less can go together. So that's why they are enrolling all their private label wines to the competitions, trying to get awards and trying to get scores from Wine Spectator, wine enthusiasts, and so on and so forth. So what I wanted to share with you is that this phenomenon can really change the market. In which way? I mean, let's see what I got here yesterday at Trader Joe, for instance. I got 3 kind of wines. None of them, as you can see, has the Trader Joe logo or brand on the label, so you don't really know that these are private labels wine. I had to ask the sales assistant, I had to check online, and sometimes they write exclusive for Trader Joe on the label of the price on the shelves. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So you have to make a research to understand if these are private labels or not. You may ask, which is the difference? I mean, it's a huge difference, because if a retailer, in this case a supermarket chain, goes to a winery and says, okay, you know what, from next year you're gonna work for me and I'm gonna commission for you this Chianti Riserva. So I need it to be this way, I need it to taste this way, I need it to cost as low as possible, because I'm gonna sell it exclusively in my supermarket, and this will be my private label. What is happening is that they are setting the rules. They are setting the rules in terms of price first. They are setting the rules in terms of taste, because they want to encounter, let's say, the standard taste of people, as much people as possible. And so if you look for wines in the supermarket, the lowest price usually is their private label selection. For instance, let's start from this one, and I will explain you better what I mean. This one says the label Nero Marrone. So they're already playing with the confusion about Amarone wine, which is a wine from Valpolicella area in Veneto, which is a very high quality wine, a DOCG from Italy. But this is not the case. They're just playing with the name. So it says Nero Marrone. So you just have to understand that is not Amarone, but they are sounding like Amarone. Then you read edizione privata in Italian, so the label in the front is in Italian and says un vino ben equilibrato con tannini setosi e complessi ed eleganti aromi di rovere. So it says a well-balanced wine with silky tannins and complex and elegant oak aromas. So it describes the wines in Italian, and it says Vino d'Italia, wine of Italy. So we don't know where it is produced. So okay, Italy is big, so we don't know exactly where. And on the back of the label, so I'm gonna put a screenshot of this here, it just says wine of Italy again, edizione privata, red wine. This dark red wine with violet hints reveals aromas of cherry, blueberry, so a description of the wine, a suggestion for food pairing. But again, it doesn't even say which grape varieties are in there, where were the grapes grown, who produced it. So I'm trying to find the winery, but I just see it bottled by Weinkellerei. So it is bottled in German, but it doesn't even say where it is produced. So okay, it says Vino d'Italia, so I guess it's produced in Italy, but where? You don't have any kind of information about this wine. It's what I am really afraid of when I read data as the one I told you before, saying that people really likes to buy wines at the grocery and really private labels are having a momentum. So if this is what it means, completely lack of terroir, completely lack of typicality. So what is this wine? I mean, it's a wine that sounds like Amarone, but obviously it's not. We don't know which kind of grapes are in there. We don't know where it is produced. It's bottled in German and then shipped to the United States. So, I mean, really, why should you buy something like this? Because it costs, I have here the receipt, Nero Marrone, Vino d'Italia, $6.99, so $7. I'm telling you that for $7 you can have something better. For instance, these two wines I bought at Trader Joe as well, and they are both private labels of Trader Joe again, but they are a step ahead from Nero Marrone. It's not difficult to be, I mean. So this one, for instance, Epicuro, they have a whole line called Epicuro. This says Aglianico Beneventano, so at least we know which kind of grapes is in there. Where does the grape come from? Because it says Beneventano. Beneventano means from Benevento. And in the back we know that the bottler was Italian, even if it's in Rome, and Benevento is in Campania, so they took the wines and they bottled it in Rome. But at least we have some more information about it. So this is kind of in the middle between these two. So this was the Aglianico was $4.99, so $7, $5. For $6, so $6, you can have this one. Grifone is another private label of Trader Joe again. So they commissioned this wine to the winery, and the label Grifone is on purpose created for Trader Joe. But this is a DOCG wine. You see, it also has the seal of the government here that says DOCG. Is an appellation wine, is a Chianti Riserva 2014. On the back it says why they call the wine Grifone, okay, but we know at least which area and exactly the appellation area where the grapes were grown. So we have at least this reassurance that this wine was made properly, because it has the government seal here. And okay, it's not gonna be maybe the best Chianti you ever had in your life, so I'm not expecting the highest quality ever, but at least you have something more respect of this Nero Marrone, which was actually even more expensive than this one. So it's $7, $5, $6. So what I want to say with this video is that you have to check everything. I mean, you can go and have private labels of supermarket. You can go at the grocery store and buy wine. I'm not judging, I'm not telling that it's not good, but among the big offer you have there at the grocery store, among the huge selection of private labels, there is a difference. So there is different ways to do the same thing, so to create private labels. This is a bad way. No sense of terroir, no typicality. You don't know where this comes from. I mean, and it was bottled in Germany. So this is not good to me. This is the way in the middle, so at least you know that the grapes were grown in Benevento and it is Aglianico, and this is a wine from an appellation area. So the government checked on the requirements, so you know that at least was made properly. Costco, for example, Kirkland signature wines, the one from Italy, for instance, they are all from some appellation. They have a Prosecco, which is from Asolo, and it is a DOCG Prosecco. Now they also sell a champagne. I saw that yesterday, and it says exactly where it is produced, the small village in Champagne where the grapes came from. So you have to check this little sign on the labels to be sure of what you're drinking. But now, as a final step, I want to taste with you these wines here to see if they are good, at least in my opinion, and how is the quality. So let's try this one first, which is the one I'm really skeptic about, because I don't even know what's in there, if it's a blend, if it's a single varietal, if it's a monovarietal wine. I don't even know where it has been produced, and I'm really, sad that it was bottled in Germany and it says Vino d'Italia on the label. This is not fair to me. So this is not right, okay? So of course the cork is plastic, and let's see, guys. The color is ruby. It smells oak. It smells a lot of oak. Yeah, the oak is overwhelming. You can't recognize any primary aromas of the grapes, so I can tell which are the grapes. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Merlot, because it has a vegetal note. Okay, this is, I think, the worst expression of a table wine you can have. I won't use it even for my risotto or for cooking, because it's gonna spoil my food. So this is my opinion about this wine. It's not good. The quality is very, very low. It's a mess of lack of acidity, lack of flavors, a lot of oak. It doesn't give anything to me. So I'm drinking wine not because it's an alcoholic beverage and I want to get high. I'm drinking wines because I'm looking for a sense of place in wine. I'm looking for an emotion. I'm looking for flavors. I'm looking for pleasure. I'm looking for a food pairing. So what is this about? I mean, it's not something I will ever drink. Let's try the Aglianico. So at least we know it's Aglianico, Vendemmia 15, so 2015 harvest. So hopefully it has a better taste. Let's see. The cork is the same, so it's a mix of plastic and cork, I guess. It's a little hard to take it off. Yeah, it's a better cork. The color is darker, a little bit. Oh, the smell is nice. Yeah, it has some wild oak, even this one, but you can definitely recognize Aglianico. Yeah, it's a simple wine. It's an everyday wine, but it's balanced. I mean, I can detect any particular defect in this wine. It's not, of course, the best Aglianico I ever had, and I don't think it's gonna age or something like that, which Aglianico is actually supposed to, because very good Aglianico can age for several years, and this one is it lacks some tannins. I think they put some other grape in this one. It's not 100% Aglianico to me. But anyway, it's an everyday wine, no frills but it's nice. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, let's say this. And then we tried the Chianti Riserva 2004. So the cork is 100% cork, so it's not plastic or some strange mixture, so it's a good quality cork. Yeah, it's a good quality cork. I will put it here together and let's see. Yeah, the color is nice. So the smell also, though, the smell actually is really good. It has another level of complexity, respect the other two that were very, very simple wines. Oh, this one I'm not even considering a wine. You can smell also some aromatic herbs, rosemary. It's very pleasant at the nose. I can smell also some purple flowers. I love it. Definitely Sangiovese, definitely Chianti. It's very recognizable. It has a true sense of place. Yeah, it's an entry-level Chianti Riserva, but I mean, for $6, is a good wine. I mean, yeah, this is something I would love to see more in the private labels of supermarket, because it's well done, it's pleasant, it's cheap, it's again an everyday wine, and why not? Make your choices, guys. So make conscious choices. So read the labels, inform yourself, and try to choose quality even among the cheap wines. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so leave your comments below, because I really want to know what you think about this phenomenon of supermarket wines. And please subscribe to my channel, help me to grow this channel, and give me advices about topics you want me to talk about. And so see you next time in the next video, and cheers!